Hello everyone, it's Chris. This is an unexpected video, a video that I felt I had to make because of an issue I had with the Spyder last night. And it ended up okay. I'm hoping it's one of those gremlins that happens once, it never happens again. If you watched enough of my videos, you may recall that back, like, it was a few months ago, I had a problem getting the thing. Oh no. I gotta clean this up before I sit on this thing. Okay, all better. So, last night, actually, I don't think I finished telling the story about the reverse issue, but I had a problem getting it into reverse, and it kind of freaked me out. But it just happened one time, and it never happened again, never replicated itself. So what happened last night, I am hoping, was a fluke, but it was more serious than not being able to get it into reverse. So I thought I need to shoot a quick video just to tell you folks about it and see if any of you have heard this happening. I've not seen anybody comment on this on YouTube. I've not seen anything on the forums related to this. I am hoping that it's a fluke, possibly caused by the fact that I ride this thing in cold weather. I think it's 15 degrees right now. My Spyder's saying it's 27. I can assure you it's less than 20. All of the weather reporting apps are showing it's between 15 and 17. So last night I had to go to a meeting in Lockport. Lockport is 20 miles away. It's about a 35-minute drive, and it was a very cold night. In fact, I got 10 minutes out and I realized I forgot my balaclava. On a long ride like that, it like speeds, when I do that ride, I'm going 50, 60 miles an hour for most of the way. I want that balaclava on, and I forgot it, and it was cold. And so it was a cold ride. After the meeting, I had a dinner to attend, a close short ride from the courthouse where my meeting was. So I go to that dinner, pull up right in front of the restaurant, shut down. I'm taking my coat off in the restaurant, and the event venue, I should say. It wasn't really a restaurant. It was a nice place right along the Erie Canal. And one of my colleagues said, from my part-time gig, says to me, "Hey Chris, your lights are on." And I have my keys in my hand. I know the engine's not running, and it's too long of a time period for the the lights, oh, thank you very much. The lights stay on like your car even after you shut down, but only for a very short period of time. I don't know how much time, but so I thought that can't be. I go out, and sure enough, my lights are on. Now it's pitch black. This is about 7 o'clock in the evening, and it's mid-January, so it's pitch black, so I can see that my lights are on. I walk towards the bike, towards the Spyder, and I see that my headlights aren't on. It's just my tail lights and my brake lights that are on. And I'm thinking, how is this even possible? So after a moment of befuddlement, I start the Spyder back up, let it run for a few seconds, and then shut down in the normal process. The headlights, after a short period of time, go off. The brake lights and the tail lights remain on. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is gonna drain my battery. I've got to figure this out. Now, I've got a battery jump pack on this thing, but I don't want to test it in the 20-degree weather in the middle of nowhere. So anyway, we're riding through Hyde Park in Niagara Falls, New York. If you're not a regular to my channel, we ride through this park often on my way to a gas station, grocery store, whatever. And if you are new to the channel, if you do not subscribe, I sure would appreciate it if you would subscribe. So anyway, back to Lockport, New York. It's in the teens, I think, at this point. And I'm thinking, what am I going to do? So this time, I wonder if somehow there's something goofy with the parking brake. This thing has an electric parking brake. So I start it back up, let it run for a couple of seconds. I turn the wheels towards, I was on a slight incline towards the curb, and roll slowly into the curb so that the Spyder couldn't move, and I take the parking brake off. I shut down. This thing screams for the 20 seconds. If you don't know, when you shut the Spyder down, and the parking brake isn't on, it gives you a loud, piercing warning noise for like a long time. It's 20 seconds, but it seems like forever when it's happening. I let that go off, and then the headlights went off, and the taillights and the parking brake went off. Now, when the parking brake and the taillights went off, it kind of flickered. Now, I don't like carefully observe what the lights look like when they go off, but they seem to go off. Look at all this salt on the roads. This is the danger that I face riding in the winter, that this stuff just kicks up. Not so much when it's dry like this, although it does kick up, believe me, but when it's wet and yucky and gets kicked up, but that's for another video. I've commented on that many times before. So anyway, it looked like it kind of flickered, the light, when it finally went off, but it went off. And I thought, okay, this is weird, but I'm going to go in and enjoy a nice dinner. An hour later, I come out. The Spyder starts up like a champ. I will say that in the cold temps, I've noticed that it does kind of stutter a little when it starts. It always starts, including in the single digits, but it doesn't start as quickly, as readily as it does in the nicer weather. But that's okay. So anyway, I drive home. It's a 35-minute drive, freezing temps. I get into the garage, I go through the normal shutdown process with the parking brake on, and shut down, connected the trickle charger, the headlights go off, and the tail lights and the brake light went off. It was just a normal day. And I went out this morning, and as you saw, it started right up. Now, if what happened last night happened in broad daylight, if the sun was out, you know, my colleague might not have noticed that my headlights were on. And that could have created a problem for me. So I'm going to be more careful, especially as I ride in these cold temps. If any of you have theories as to why that happened, could cold weather cause that? You know, for those of you who are attuned to the electrical system on these things, someone said, could it be the salts might have corroded something in your electrical system? I think I would have more readily accepted something like that if it happened later in the season. I just started riding this thing with the salt, and so there's no way that could have... I don't think I've had serious exposure to the salt until last night. Last night, we had some snow the past couple of days. What is this guy doing? So the ride had a lot of salt on the way to Lockport, but it wouldn't have, you know, affected the electrical system in seconds. So any theories on that, I would appreciate it. Now, what we're going to do right now is we're going to test in real life gassing up with my new... If you watch my last video, I have a new accessory to the Spyder. We're going to shut down, and I just love this so much. If you didn't see that video, this is kind of a little tease to what it is. So my seat shock, as you can see, fails. It holds it a little bit, but it just kind of doesn't want to stay up, right? But that's okay, because I now have this thing, and this thing holds it up. Now, this is held in by one push pin. I called Spyder Extras yesterday. Actually, it was the day before yesterday, and they're sending me the second push pin, which, if you didn't see that video, the second push pin, it was 20 degrees. It was like a day like today when I installed this, and it's so easy to install. You just push this push pin in. There's a hole here, and there's a hole here as well. Why those holes are there, I don't know, but they're there. Well, a push pin fell into that little hole there. So, I don't know if you can see it. If you, I commented on that video, if you saw the Seinfeld episode about the junior mint, the push pin, when it going in there, it's kind of like the junior mint that fell into the patient's cavity. But anyway, if you like this video, please hit that like button. And if you have any theories on this electrical system and the lights, I sure would love a comment on that. And until the next video, you have a great day. Thanks so much. We'll see you. Bye-bye.